Alrighty, guys, we're back for Deadly Restoration, and this is a Final Fantasy Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have all four Aerith Gainsborough. This is a 3-mana 2/2 legendary creature, of course. Has a lifelink, and whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Aerith. Okay. When Aerith dies, put X +1/+1 counters on each legendary creature you control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Aerith. On each legendary? Holy cow, dude. So we got a lot of legendaries packed in to hopefully pair well with the Aerith Gainsborough, like Linden making the cut as a 2-of. It's a 3-mana 3/3. It has Vigilance, and whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. Ought to pair nicely with that Aerith, huh? How about Cloud, Midgar Mercenary, not really fitting the Lifegain theme. However, it should still do a pretty neat thing in here. So that's a 2-mana 2/1 legendary creature. When Cloud enters, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. As long as Cloud is equipped, if an ability of Cloud or an equipment attached to it triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So for thematic purposes, we have a 1-of Buster Sword. Again, not really fitting that Lifegain theme, but it should do the thing when we see it, or when we decide to grab it out of the build with the Cloud. So it's a 3-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. The equip cost is 2. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. That is pretty cool stuff. What other equipments do we have packed in that we wouldn't mind grabbing out of the build with Cloud? Well, we have a 1-of Lost Jitte, ought to do the thing nicely. We have a 1-of Excalibur II. This is a 1-mana legendary artifact. Whenever you gain life, put a charge counter on Excalibur II. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each charge counter on Excalibur II, and the equip cost is pretty steep at 3 mana. We'll see if this could do the thing today, huh? We also have a 1-of Basilisk Collar, going to be excellent to grab out of the build with Cloud when you need that lifelink. We also have a 1-of Deconstruction Hammer. We'll see if it does the thing today, maybe popping an important artifact or enchantment that the opponent has. Other legendary creatures packed in to pair well with the legendary theme, we have Zack Fair. Of course, bro. Now we're talking. Now the theme is complete. It's a 1-mana 0/1 legendary creature. Zack Fair enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. You can pay 1, sacrifice Zack. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Put Zack's counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zack to that creature. That is so thematic for anyone who's played Crisis Core. That is so cool, man. Anyways, what else do we got packed in for the Lifegain theme of Sheltered by Ghosts, right? All 4 of them. We also have a brand spanking new Restoration Magic. All 4 of these too. It's a 1 white mana instant speed. It has tiered, so you can choose 1 mode and pay its additional cost. So Cure for the additional cost of 0. It's just target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So your basic like protection spell, right? Or you can go Cura for an additional cost of 1. Target permanent gains hexproof, indestructible, and you gain 3 life. Okay. Or you can go Curaga for the additional cost of 3 and a white. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, and you gain 6 life. Okay, that actually seems pretty decent, right? We'll see if this does the thing today. Now, also working with the Lifegain theme, we have all 4 Hinterland Sanctifiers. Not going to take the time to go over it. All 4 Ajani's Pridemate, and all 4 Essence Channeler as well. Over in the mana base, guys, we do have a couple adventurers in, hopefully not holding up the Linden too often. When it enters, you gain 2 life. Then you can tap it for a colorless. Cool. Also have a couple Plaza of Heroes. We'll see how well that does the thing. Mainly in here, of course, for the bottom ability, where maybe we can protect one of our legendaries. We also have a new Ishgard, the Holy Sea, which I'm not going to take the time to go over right now either. A lot of honorable mentions, guys. Case of the Uneaten Feast almost made the cut. Skrelv almost made the cut. Steiner almost made the cut. Battle Menu seems pretty cool. A White Mage's Staff could have been neat in here. And Sir Ginger was a card I considered as well. Oh, buddy, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game of the evening. What am I expecting from the build? I have no idea. It's probably going to be pretty janky, right? Right? Maybe? I don't know, dude. I really don't. Wow. All we're missing is the Buster Sword, huh? And Cloud can grab the Buster Sword for the theme, of course, right? But, yeah. I like this. When the opponent goes first, it's pretty good to see the collar in hand, because that lifelink really does come in handy. Oh, I'd say that lifelink's going to come in handy. Ooh, holy cow, good draw. Well, Sheltered by Ghost. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. We should definitely just get Zack down, and hopefully it doesn't get popped to a Burst Lightning right away. But I'd say establishing the creature after we saw Sheltered by Ghost, that's pretty essential, right? I think so. Yeah. Because we're probably going to need to pick up that Heartfire hero immediately, and then getting that ward on Zack should be pretty good too. We'd much rather the ward on Cloud or something, but I probably am going to grab the Buster Sword with Cloud too. I don't know. I'll look through the other equipments and we'll consider, because it's looking like Boros auras, so Deconstruction Hammer could be a good one too, maybe. Since they use their only white source on this. Okay, no blocks. They still might want to do Monstrous Rage, maximize damage. However, if they're... Yeah, they're going to maximize damage for the turn. That's pretty good for them. Alright, down to 13. Right into Sheltered by Ghosts, I would say. Plaza could really come in handy. Yeah, Cloud. Yeah. We literally just can't let Heartfire Hero exist over there. So we really have no choice here. Make sure we pick up the hero. Swing, because I don't plan on blocking. Even though a deck list like that easily has haste with some more mice. Or Screaming Nemesis. That's a that's a card. Another Sheltered by Ghost would be pretty good, right? So let's see here. Let's see. So we can get the Plaza down. And probably Aerith. Swing with Zack. Oh, man. I really like the theme of this deck. It's so cool, man. Having Zack and Aerith. Cloud in hand. Alright. Emberheart Challenger. They got a great swing here, and we're going to let it go through because they only got one card left in hand, and we have a ton of life gain on this board. The ward on Zack means no Burst Lightning. They could still have like a Lightning Strike for the Aerith. We're going to keep the Challenger back as a blocker, which is probably a pretty good thing to do there for them. Basilisk Collar, Death Touch to Zack. Yeah, the prowess on the Challenger does block pretty well. Without, like, actually gaining life before the swing, we might have a problem with... Well, we still might swing with Aerith. Distributing the other counters on the other, Yeah, let's go search for... I should have tapped the Plaza there for sure. So, Excalibur... we could actually equip the Lost Jitte. And that could be pretty good, but it actually has to get the damage through. They'd much rather block Zack over Aerith, so I think we're just swinging with Aerith for the turn. I think I'm going to grab the Buster Sword, dude. I hope that's worthwhile, but... And then before combat, I'm not going to worry about the Basilisk Collar. Before combat, we want to get the Essence Channeler down. And, yeah, we'll see. If it is a trade into Challenger, it's a pretty good trade, and then we'll distribute the +1 counter across our other legendaries. And then eventually we can give, like, lifelink to the Cloud too. But the main goal... Nice deck. Hey! Thank you, opponent. Dude, how do I say thank you? Alright. We don't get a nice deck from the opponents very often, so it's nice. Oh, Sheltered by Ghost. Dude, that's actually brutal. Holy cow. I mean, I was going to go Buster Sword, but Sheltered by Ghost is just disgusting on so many levels. I think we'll put it on the Essence Channeler. Probably okay, right? At that point, we might as well... Yeah, I'll establish Buster Sword for the turn, actually. We don't want that trade. We want these trades. And we don't want the trade into, yeah, GG opponent. Yeah, I mean, we got 8 life gain there. They got 1 card left in hand, challenger on the board, and they saw that I was playing it safely too. If I would have swung with the Zack, then they would have at least had the block there, but then we would have been gaining 10. They would have gotten Heartfire Hero back. We'd be back up to 24. I mean, that was just, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Second Sheltered by Ghost was disgusting, but dude, all 4 of them for a very good reason, huh? That was freaking sick, man. Oh, jeez. So guys, who's your favorite Final Fantasy character across all the games? It's pretty hard to choose, but Zack has to be one of my favorites. Very close to #1, if not #1, so it's very cool to have him in this list. I don't know why it took so long to think about this. Probably the Linden and the Adventures in. Like, we're not going to have turn 3 Linden, right? But there's no guaranteed land off the top. We could go 7 turns without seeing land. So we don't want to just base the hand off of our 3-drop. Everything else plays beautifully here, so. Starting with the Sanctifier. Also, going first is huge for us. It'd be nice if we top deck like a Plains, though, because then we can wait to play the Adventures in until we actually have Pridemate and Channeler on the board, too. That would be ideal, but yeah, we'll see. If not, it's totally fine. Just get it down to get a 2-drop down. Looks like Sanctifier is going to bite the dust here. All right. We don't find the land. We find Zack, and it's still... It's okay just to play this and get a 2-drop down. And it's probably going to be Essence Channeler over the Pridemate. Yeah. Yeah, more mana would be good, but we can play this out for quite some time without the 3rd mana. But hopefully we do find the 3rd, of course. We have 23 mana in here total. Draconautics Engineer is not like the greatest target for Sheltered by Ghosts, but it does let us get a swing through. I have Restoration Magic. That could be kind of like a little trick, right? But I think I'm just not going to swing and just establish the other Pridemate. We're probably going to have a better target with the Sheltered by Ghosts. I also think the opponent takes that trade all day. Getting Essence Channeler off the board before it grows beyond what red can deal with. Which with the Engineer, I don't know. Oh, Goblins. Okay. Okay, that's starting to make sense. They are forced to attack with this, and we do have a block here since they're tapped out. Essence Channeler, right? So pretty much no matter what, we want to pick up the House Squad Heavy, but then again, we don't have the swing, so we could go for a full swing and then Restoration Magic Surprise. That could be pretty good. Let's see what that does for us. We might just get 4 through. Yeah, we do. We do get 4 through. We could still go Restoration Magic, but I think I'm just going to play the other Essence Channeler. I don't know, man. I think getting House Squad Heavies off the board is really important. But at the same time, okay, the opponent finds their 4th mana. Yeah. I mean, Lifegain should be able to keep up with Goblins. But, okay, they don't play any Goblins before combat. That's great news. They do get this one through. They are keeping the House Squad and the Draconautics Engineer back as blockers. They got 4 cards in hand, 4 mana on the board. What could it be? Some burn? More Torch the Tower? Because if it was a Goblin, you'd think that, wow, a Krinko. A Krinko could have come down before combat, and they could have swung wide with the extra Goblins, right? So that's first of all, Krinko's terrible news for us is now they are super wide. We do find our 3rd mana. Thank goodness, bro, but we're in danger. we're in significant danger. Pretty much no matter where we go with the Sheltered by Ghost, we're just not gaining life to actually boost the Pridemate and the Channelers, right? So, if we go Zack for the turn, we're in danger, dude. We're in significant danger, and I don't know what to do about it. Restoration Magic. We could actually use Restoration Magic to block, but we got to pick up Krinko, and I hope it's not Krinko number 2. This is tough, man. This is really tough. I'm going to go onto the Pridemate, I guess, because it has a bigger booty and can actually block a 1-1, maybe. The problem is they're probably not going to be 1-1s here in a second. They'd love this trade, but we can protect it with Restoration Magic, but I'd want to gain life on the Restoration Magic too, so just falling behind in mana here. Also, double block to the goblins over here. Alright, I'm going to keep Restoration Magic. We're going to do our best to block next turn. And Restoration Magic will just give Indestructible, so we actually get to keep like a Pridemate around. Or if they spend like extra mana on the ward, then Restoration being kept open as protection could be really good. So they are unfortunately going to boost their goblin board state. Fourth mana could be good if it's a white source. Even an Adventurer's Inn would have been decent. I think they're gonna finally full swing here. No, they're still gonna hold back a little bit. It looks like they are keeping a lot of blockers back. So we're gonna stick to it. We're gonna block and take 6. We don't really mind taking 6 here. And then Restoration Magic for cure. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Dude, I love the sounds. So we gained 3, back up to 18. Everything here gets a counter since we gained life. Thank goodness, right? Finally. Yeah, like planes off the top, get the Linden down, full swing. That could be really good. Oh no, they're still playing goblins though, guys. Wow, it was a planes. That's really good, dude. But are we gonna die on the backswing is the question. Also, they have incredible blocks into the Pridemate. Double block would do it after the swing with House Squad. Well, that could be pretty good for us. I think there's realistically no other option. We can't just play Zack and pass. They could just keep playing more and more hasty goblins. I think a mistake from earlier was not picking up the heavy right away, right? Yeah, we're just going for it. Any blocks into the channelers would, or any deadly blocks into the channelers would lead us to distributing the counters elsewhere. We're gaining 7 on the Pridemate here. Yeah, they got the double block. House Squad and Engineer. Oh, triple block. Now we do take all 3 of those out, but they get the Krinko back. Why wasn't I thinking about the triple block, guys? That's not good news, man. That's not good news. We're at 28. The channelers do get a little bit of a raise here. They do find goblins off the top. Oh no, Sear Slicer and Scamp. Dude, Horde Master putting in the work, and they go ahead and activate the Krinko. Impact Tremors. Dude, nice, nice. Holy cow. Now, again, they can activate Krinko before combat here. So we're going to take 15 damage, and then they full swing. Yeah, anyone's game. If we would have found some mana a little bit sooner, then maybe. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll let them swing on in for sure. Oh, they tapped the House Squad just to dump their hand too. Okay, I mean, they might have some... Hey, 33 damage. Pop the Linden. Oh man, yeah, they might have some quests. Wow, it wasn't, there was no land remaining in their hand. It was just a whole bunch of goblins. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh no, oh no, oh no, opponent, opponent, I'm letting you swing in, buddy. I'm sticking to it. I'm still letting them swing in. I'm sticking to it, man. Guys, this is a good time to remind everybody that if you mouse over the bottom of the video, you can always skip ahead to the next game. And then also down in the description, we do have, here they come, guys. Here they come at long last. Down in the description, we do have timestamps too, so you can always see the next game. I do like to let the opponents play it out, so more often than not. Except Omniscience builds. Recently, we've been conceding a lot to the Omniscience builds because of the infinite loop that they get to, and I can only imagine that's just a lot of buttons for the opponent. Yeah, what do you guys think? We would have seen a little mana sooner. I think we had a real chance. And then also, it could have come down to me not picking up that Howl Squad heavy earlier. With the Sheltered by Ghost, that easily could have been what did us in. Also, the opponent's lineup of goblins was insane. That was really good. That was good stuff. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? 2 mana. Is that going to be enough, guys? We'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely keeping this, though. Yeah, I don't think we want to... Ooh, nice draw. I don't think we want to consider 24th until we, like, desperately need the 24th mana. You know what I mean? Because it's a low curve. That being said, a lot of 2-drops. So we're still going to want to see 4-on-4 a lot of games so we can get 2 of our 2-drops down on 4, you know? So we still want 3-on-3 too, so. All right, come on down. Essence Channeler. Yeah, the early Sanctifier kill for the last opponent was pretty essential too. And I think Sanctifier does actually get picked up early quite often, right into temporary lockdown. We do find our 3rd mana. That's great news. We'll go ahead and establish the Aerith, especially since we have 2 of them now. Well, no Omniscience Engrave yet. Okay, they go searching for their combo. We are going way too slow, especially if they establish their combo within 2 turns, which should actually be pretty easy for them. 4th mana, see, that's pretty good, actually. So yeah, maybe we should consider 24, but also now we could flood out. Like 2 more turns of land, that would be pretty bad, so. All right. 9 on the board so far. If we could find, like, instead of a Plains, an Innkeeper's Inn to give a boost to all these first. They go Moment of Truth, which is probably going to be Omniscience finally going to the grave. Oh, wait, no. It's not a discard. It's a, it's the top 3. Okay, and another Moment of Truth. Let's see what they find here on the top 3. Still not Omniscience, guys. All right, that's good news. Wow, it was an Innkeeper's Talent, too. Huh? Dude. That's pretty good. Holy cow. Right, we definitely want to go ahead and equip the, wait a minute. We have to tap creature, sacrifice Deconstruction Hammer. The equip cost is 1, 3. If we tap a 4 power Pridemate, we'll have 4 on the board. Channeler, Sanctifier comes back. Sanctifier boosts Aerith and Ajani by 2. So not worth popping the temporary lockdown, right? We just go for extra damage for the turn. All right, down to 3. You guys can see why we are seeing so many temporary lockdowns too, because you can imagine what this would have been like if we were playing hyper aggro. Yeah, the equipped creature has to be tapped for that middle ability. Oh, it doesn't pick up Aerith. Oh, thank goodness, Aerith. Thank goodness, bro. All right, yeah, good game, opponent. Wow. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. We got a little lucky. that they missed Omniscience, because I'll tell you what, guys, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, and you guys know it well too. The Omniscience builds are ridiculously consistent. Like it's kind of gross how consistent they are sometimes, but every now and then they miss. Honestly, it's getting up there to the number of games where they miss the Omniscience in the grave, so I don't know. Maybe it's not as consistent as I'm thinking, and I just got bulldozed for the first couple weeks of its popularity or something. Right. This is probably a bad hand. Right. I'm keeping it. Look, we got Zack, we got Aerith, we got the Buster Sword. It's literally Crisis Core in our hand. Excalibur II. Stop ruining my theme. How dare. That's actually pretty decent. Yeah, because it gives us a turn 2 if we don't find a turn 2 here. Emberheart Challenger. They swing on through. Yeah, because that is not a block that I'm willing to take. No blocks. It's a plains. Uh-oh. Right, well. I still don't accept that block, so I'm going to go ahead and swing. Yeah, that's enough mana for a while, huh? And right in the last game, too. Is like I was saying, like now we could flood. But in that last game, actually seeing the inn was pretty good. But right now, just a hand of plains, no utility lands. Screaming Nemesis is a problem. Uh-oh. We definitely want to pick that up with a Sheltered. So Sheltered by Ghost off the top? Oh no, they're keeping Nemesis as a blocker? That's rude. Another plains? Oh no, guys. Alright. Alright, we'll try to get Aerith down. And if we go Buster Sword, we could equip Buster Sword next turn, try for a swing. They probably swing with the Nemesis. But establishing Aerith is probably just a little better. It's the only life gain we have in hand. That's tough. That's a tough decision for sure. But Buster Sword onto Aerith could pull us back. But again, we don't have enough mana for all that next turn. Also, Aerith gets popped by Burst Lightning pretty easily. It also doesn't have any counters to distribute yet either, so... Oh, second Nemesis. Wow. They got power here, man. They should swing, yeah. Oh, they're actually not even going to accept a trade into Challenger. They're keeping a Nemesis back, guys. Okay. All right. I'm going to take the 3. Essence Channeler. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to let us swing with that Aerith. They don't want any counters on the Excalibur. Alright, now we have Zack's ability open. And we establish the Buster Sword. I mean, we're in serious danger the second they actually decide to swing, right? But if they don't hit their Nemesis with any of their burn, and as long as we don't block, then we should be able to gain enough life to be sustainable. We could still block with Zack. I am a little concerned about on the stack here. It's going to be Witchstalker Frenzy. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to try to protect Aerith. Does go up to... That's pretty good. Now we don't want to do damage to the Nemesis, so we want to try to block the Challenger. Alright, back up to 10. Excalibur II getting that boost as well. Now, if they have any burn, they really desperately want to smack their own Nemesis to stop this life gain. It's going to be Slick Shot Show Off. Linden's pretty good. Honestly, though, just like Buster Sword onto Aerith, then they got a blocker now. So, deals combat damage to a player. We won't get the Buster Sword ability, but it'll be a ton of life gain. For 2, Channeler could come down. Probably Linden, though. Linden's a little better here. Let's get that Buster Sword equipped to the Aerith. Swing for 7, but it's actually 8 because of the Linden. Excalibur also gets an extra counter here, and they really don't want this damage to go through. So they want to chump with the Buster Sword on the board. Holy cow, guys. Back up to 19. We get some card draw, and we get a free card. Let's make it a good one. Zack, hi! But it should probably be Essence Channeler, huh? If we had an open mana, I would play Zack all day, but it should probably just be Essence Channeler for now. Zack was technically a good draw. Yeah. If we did have that open mana and we were able to like protect Linden or something. Now, a 9/8 Aerith should be incredibly intimidating for the opponent. A third Nemesis. Wow. Holy cow. They had to pass it back. Okay, now's their chance. Now's their chance, right? But I'm still going to go all in to the Aerith. We're going to full swing gain 3. All into Aerith. Take a ton of damage from the Nemesis. But if we can get him off the board... Zack open for protection. Yeah, the Nemesis, of course, is a problem, right? But we just go for it, man. Essence Channeler getting a big boost here, too. Yeah, Nemesis is a problem because it pretty much nullifies whatever damage we decide to get through with this incredibly chunky Aerith. It's an 1817. But of course, the Nemesis... Wait a minute, guys. How do we do that? How do we get this damage past Nemesis? Because now we're not going to gain life. Could we not swing? Wait, should I not have swung there? You'd think I would know how to play against Nemesis with how much I... Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know what just happened, but I'm not 100% certain that that was actually leaning towards us. Maybe I'm not playing it out in my head right. Right, because 18 damage, okay, it hits the Nemesis. We gain 18 up to 40, but then we lose 18 when Nemesis smacks our face with all that extra damage. Because if Aerith had trample, that'd be different, right? It would do the 3, then the rest would get through, we'd win that way. But we'd gain 18, lose 18 from the Nemesis, but then the rest of the game we won't be gaining any life. And they still have 2 more Nemesis too. So they could have blocked Nemesis into Linden, Nemesis into Channeler. We would have taken another 8. But losing their Nemesis wouldn't have been that great either. They'd want to keep these Nemesis for the next turns for when we swing with Aerith, which means we just wouldn't have been able to swing with Aerith. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. And we wouldn't have been gaining on Linden anymore either. I don't even know if it was safe to swing there. I actually would have loved to play that one out just to see what was bound to happen, which is all that's very noteworthy, guys. Something for the deck list might be like a way to push trample through or something, or a way to become unblockable, or a way to get flying too, right? Something like that. Maybe there's an equipment that can give us some evasion that we can go ahead and grab from the build with Cloud or something. Yeah, that's all very noteworthy. All right, guys, last game of the evening. Also, hey, while I have you here at the end of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Also, if you liked the video, make sure you actually drop it a like, and if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. All right, can the Sanctifier survive? That's the question. Come on, Sanctifier, let's do the thing. It's an opt. Sanctifier's alive. All right. Slickshot show off. Yep. And since they didn't go for the plot, they must not have Quarry Steel Cutter in hand, right? So I'm just going to go right into the Channeler. Right on curve. Don't plan on blocking with the Sanctifier, even if they have a hasty ground thing, so we swing. Going to be an opt, boost the Slickshot. They sent it to the bottom. They're going to go ahead, Burst Lightning the Sanctifier. It was a good run, Sanctifier. It was. Ow. Cloud. Hi. I'm thinking Collar. Right? Get that down and established. Oh, you know what I should have done though, guys? Since we have 3 mana, we could have kept Restoration Magic up for the turn, played Collar next turn, and still had the 2 to equip it to the Channeler. Oh crap! Yeah, protecting the Channeler is probably a good idea. Now they plot the show off, which means they might actually have the Quarry Steel Cutter in hand. With only a blue source open, it could be a bounce spell easily, right? But now we have open mana for Restoration, Hexproof Indestructible. So we are going to take the time to equip 2 to the Channeler. If it's going to be a bounce spell, then Restoration Magic. I'm probably just going to keep Restoration Magic open regardless. We don't want to tap out here. Okay, into the Flood Maw. Nice. So now we can probably tap out because we can gain life. Get the extra boost. Back up to 17. Channeler goes up to 4-3 and it has lifelink. So they're down to 10. We're up to 21. And now it's a 5-4. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, so they want to bounce anything that we have. Oh, it was, so it was not a Steel Cutter, but they did have a stock up that they wanted to play at the same time to boost the show-offs. Luckily for us, we just have an incredible lineup over here. I don't know if we'll be able to do 10 damage next turn, but it depends what we draw, I guess. GG opponent, yeah. We have 7 on the board. We can gain 3 from magic. That would be 8 on the board. If we could find a way to gain, I guess, like the inn, that also would have just been 9, but then we're gaining so much life anyways, too. Oh, Sheltered by Ghosts off the top. Could have been really good, too. Good stuff, man. Wow. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. Deadly Restoration. Yes. Hey, I got a second Buster Sword. Let's go. Oh, man. I do like the Buster Sword. I think that the ability is actually really good, but like for this build, for example, so even though it doesn't fit the Lifegain theme or the legendary theme, it does fit the Cloud theme, and the Cloud being able to, or the Cloud theme letting us actually grab a variety of equipment out of the deck list is actually seems really efficient, doesn't it? Right? So just being able to play a Cloud and say in that last game we knew we were up against Izzet Quarry Steel Cutter, so just grab the Collar and then do our dandiest to get some really good life gain out of that. And that seemed to really work in that last game quite well, I would say. So for Sanctifier, guys, we do have 24 total creatures in here, and 4 of them being Sanctifier. I think it's kind of necessary. There's actually a lot of moments today where we just wouldn't have mind finding even more to gain life off the top. Linden was freaking sick, dude. I could see 3 of these easily. I don't know what I would drop for the third. Maybe Aerith down to 3, but that also doesn't seem great because Aerith was pretty good today too. And I like Aerith is the main build around of the deck. So regardless of being a legendary creature, it still has a huge target on its back, and we really want to see Aerith. This is like the main build and the main top end too. So I like the 3 Zacks. That bottom ability is pretty decent, man. Pay 1, sack it, target creature gets indestructible. That's decent, but then it comes in with a +1 counter too. So when you do that, you're also putting a +1 counter on that creature. If you're putting it on a creature with a life gain, that's even more life gain, right? You can do things like put the Lost Jitte on Zack, and then when Zack deals damage, you can put an extra counter on the equipped creature, right? And then Lost Jitte having the other abilities here too is actually pretty good. The like target creature can't block this turn, or untap target land. The target creature can't block this turn can help us get like that excess damage through. Oh, guys, I know what we're missing, man. Hold up, let me see it. Yep, right there. Heroes Heirloom. Dude, yeah, as a 1 or 2 of. Probably just a 1 of again, because Cloud is acting as the rest of each equipment, I guess is what we're kind of doing here, right? Heroes Heirlooms, 2 mana, equip 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. As long as equipped creature is legendary, it has trample and haste. Yeah, that could be cool. Maybe if I went up a Heroes Heirloom, 1 or 2, probably 1, like I said, I'd probably drop 1 or 2 Ajani's Pridemate. And if I dropped 2 to go up 1 Heirloom, then I think we could successfully go up that 3rd Linden too. But guys, honestly, the deck list performed well enough to just not change anything. Now we're going to take the time to go over Ishgard, because I didn't go over it earlier in the video too. So it's a land that enters tapped. You can tap it for a white source. It's a town. But it has an adventure here too, sorcery speed. Faith and Grief is a 3 and double white. Return up to 2 target artifact or enchantment cards from your graveyard to your hand. So if the game goes on long enough, guys, I could easily see this be a decent 5 mana option to bring back a Sheltered by Ghost or 2. We have artifacts in here too with all the equipments as well. So is it necessary as a 1 of? No, but utility lands are really nice to have, especially when we flood out, even though we have 23 mana in here. And I wouldn't drop any mana, guys. You really do want to see 4-on-4 quite often to drop a couple 2-drops, especially if it's a creature and a Sheltered by Ghost. That happens very often. So yeah, and you definitely want 3-on-3 because you want to curve out properly into the Aerith. Now, we had a lot of honorable mentions today. Case of the Uneaten Feast would be excellent in here. Maybe as a 2 of or something. Again, if you're dropping something, maybe the Pridemate down to 2, because Channeler's just like pretty much a better version. There was a moment today where the Pridemate's toughness actually mattered, but most of the time Channeler's just going to be a little bit better since it redistributes the counters after it dies too. So like dropping a couple Pridemates, going up a couple Case of the Uneaten Feast could be really good. And that's also another enchantment then too that he could bring back late game with the Ishgard as well. So again, I'm not changing anything, but these are all valid options for real, guys. So also, guys, this says nothing about the deck list, but put it on the do not craft list, just because no one knows where the meta is going to settle for the first couple weeks of any given set release, right? So you don't want to waste your wild cards on a deck list and then have the meta settle on the opposite side of that deck list, right? So, yeah, so put it on the do not craft list just for that reason. That says nothing about the deck, because this was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. What's really fun about it for me is we're playing Lifegain, but it's not control or anything like that. We're kind of doing the aggro thing, man, which is fun. Obviously, I love aggro, so being able to call it Lifegain aggro, that's cool, right? That's fun. I really don't have too much else to say. The deck list showcased itself pretty well. I'd keep your eye on Restoration Magic, guys. Cura, Curaga, I think are actually, like, number 1, I really like protection spells. I know some people really don't, but I see it as if it's a 1-for-1 trade, like our 1 instant speed thing for their instant speed removal or something, it is that, right? It is a 1-for-1 card trade. However, you get to keep your established creature on the board, which is just super valuable in the right deck list. And the right deck list is a deck list where you need creatures on the board to target with your Sheltered by Ghost next turn or something, right? So, and of course, Hexproof Indestructible is great, and there's going to be lots of moments too where you just keep the 2 mana open. So you have Cura quite successfully. Gain the 3, you're boosting the Channeler, Pridemate, Aerith, all that good stuff. Curaga, of course, going to happen a little bit less, but for 5 total mana at that point, 3 and double white, permanents you control gain Hexproof Indestructible, gain 6 life. Just having the 3 different options on here, man. I think outside of Lifegain, we might try this too, just to see what happens. I think it's decent. We'll see. We'll see. I'm keeping my eye on it for sure. Like I said, I love protection spells, so. All right. Yeah, and then Zack too. You don't have to build like an equipment deck for Zack. You could build a +1/+1 counter deck. Right? So I'm keeping my eye on Zack too, because that bottom ability is actually really good. Even if it's not +1 counters, if you're rocking a deck list where, again, you just need to value better creatures or something, or your 3-drop creatures. Man, a human soldier too, of course, right? So humans, maybe soldiers. There's a lot that we can try Zack in. Yeah. All right, guys, I loved this one. Let me know what you thought of the deck list. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. And if you made it this far in the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.